Good morning, ladies. Hi, Falake. Hi, Christine. How are you? Thanks for joining us promptly. I came up a bit early today. Hi, Sheila. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a lovely, happy Sunday to you too, Falake. Thank you very much. Hope you had a lovely time in the presence of God. Trust your families are doing great. Fantastic. Thanks for joining promptly. I came up a bit early because I have a function and I want to kind of be able to dash out after this really promptly. So I thought just come up a bit earlier and well, it's just a few minutes actually, isn't it? It's just like 5 minutes earlier, so it's not too bad. So I hope we're going to have a lovely time today. Hi Christine, how are you, my dear? Good. How's the family? How your family is doing? I trust they're all doing great, and we're all ready for back to school tomorrow. So last week Hi Chiku, thanks for joining. How are you? And how was your Sunday? Yetunde, hi. How are you all doing? Great. It's a pleasure really to have you all promptly here. Thank you so much for joining promptly. Again, as I've always said, it's a platform for learning, for sharing together. And as we get into these conversations, can you please just add your comments? And I'm going to also request, that if you have, something you want to share with the parents, please inbox me, and in our next couple of shows, I can get you on and let's have conversations together. It's about parents learning together, parents empowering parents, because I believe that parenting is a minefield. Okay, it's so different. Strategies for one child will not necessarily work for the other child. So we all have a wealth of experience. We all are intentional parents. We all, if you're in this group, I believe you are intentional. You won't be here now if you didn't want to give the best for your child. So we have something, each of us have something to bring on to empower others. So please feel free to comment, please feel free to share your experience, and let's come on and work together to strengthen each other and grow together in our parenting. Hi Elizabeth, thanks for joining. So this is the Intentional Parents Club. The Intentional Parents Club is a club where parents who want to do a great job at their parenting come together to share together, to learn together, so that we can grow in our parenting. As I always say, the parenting journey is a lifelong journey. When you have a baby, through their childhood phase, you parent them differently. As they go through the adolescence, you use different strategies. When they leave home, it's different challenges, it's different things they need from you. When you become a grandparent, you need other skills to be able to be a good grandparent. So it is a lifelong. Once you are in it, it's no turning back. And so it's great to have an opportunity for us to share together, to strengthen each other. So today, I'm going to carry on with the discussion we started last week, which is looking within. Do you have what your child needs? Because as a parent, you're basically creating an adult, okay? You want to create an adult that you want to release into the world in a way that they are competent enough to navigate through life. So that is what it is. You're training a young person that will, go through life successfully. And believe you, the home is the training ground where children practice real life. The home is a training ground where they see real life happen. When they go out with their peers, that's not real life. They don't see real life. They see their peers' opinions. When they are in school, they are learning different subjects from their teachers. The teachers don't teach them real life. The teachers themselves need help, believe you me. So it is in the home that children actually practice real life. Hi Jenny, my pal, thanks for joining. Busy ladies, good having you here. So it is in the home that they understand the intricacies of real life, that they understand how to relate with other people, that they understand the place of hard work. It is in the home that all of this happens. In the home, you are giving your children roots that they need, and you're giving them wings. Hi, Jenny. Okay, so as you're raising up your children from childhood through adolescence and releasing them into adulthood, throughout that period where they are with you. Hi, Prax, thanks for joining in. Great to have you two power ladies. Okay, and please feel free, let's comment, let's support each other, let's share our experiences, let's share our wisdom on this platform with other parents. So I was saying that you're giving your children roots. Okay, so think about a plant. Those huge trees, the baobab trees, the really big trees, have roots that grow deep, deep, deep into the ground. So when the storms come, no matter how strong the storms the trees are not uprooted. So what you're doing to your child is giving them that roots, okay? And those roots that you give them and the wings they would use to fly when they go out, so that they can navigate through life, in a very, very competent way. Hello, Pastor Morris. Thanks for joining. So last week we spoke about what children need. We spoke about unconditional love and acceptance. Now, the other thing that I'll talk about today that children need is character, to be able to be competent enough to survive in real life as an adult. So you are raising up a person of character. That is your responsibility as a parent. So what is character? I looked at the dictionary and let me just read it out to you. So character is a combination of mental and moral qualities. Okay, so it's a combination of mental and moral qualities that a person needs to be able to survive in life. Okay, in this case we're talking about developing character to help your child navigate through life. I tell you, I'm sure you will agree with me that you've worked with adults that are adults in body but children in their attitude, in their character, in their thinking. Even at work around us, we see people like that every day. These are people who did not learn these things, we were not imparted with these attributes as they were raised in their homes. And so that is your responsibility, to raise up a child with character that will grow up and navigate through life successfully right from the start. For a lot of us, for a lot of people, they learn these things as adults. You find yourself in a job and you start to learn those skills that you need to help you do well in a job. Or you go into university and you find lots of gaps in yourself and you start to learn. You learn from others. But as intentional parents, we can actually start to impart these things onto our children even as they go through home. So you are the key person that your child relies on to develop character. Your child, how do you help your child develop character? They watch you. Children learn by watching more than by listening or hearing the things we tell them. And so that brings me back to the original question that I asked. Do you have what? Hello, Olivier. Thanks for joining. So this brings me to the original question I asked before. Do you have what your child needs? Hi, KG. Thanks for joining. Power, ladies and gentlemen here. Thanks you all for joining. Please, let's comment as we go along. If there's anything that, hits home, please just type it in the comment box. Let's comment, as we go along. So it's all about, happy Sunday, Keji. Happy Sunday to you too. So it's all, hi, Olivier. So it's all about you. I always say that 90% of how your child turns out depends on you. And for an intentional parent, it's great that we've all come to the realization, and that as a result of that, we will be able to do a great job. Hi, Martin. Wow, from California. Thanks for joining. It's a real pleasure. Thank you so much. Okay, so how your child turns out depends on you. And we're talking here about raising children with character. Now I want to take it back in. So it's thinking, today's title is Thinking Within. So looking inward, self-reflection. Are you a person of integrity? Are you a person who keeps your words? Believe you me, our children see all these things. We promise them things, you tell them, you take them out, and then you don't take them out. You promise them you give them a treat, and then you don't do it. Are you a person of integrity? When we are parents of integrity, I tell you, it rubs on our children. Our children know that we have to keep our words. It's better to tell them, don't rush to make promises if you're not sure you will keep them, than make the promises and not keep them. And if you can't keep them, find a good reason, give them a good reason, and tell them, teach them the moral that people of integrity keep their word. But on this occasion, because of this and this, unfortunately, I'm unable to do it right now, but I'm going to do it at a later time. That way you are teaching them through the process, because all the things we do, it stays within, it goes right in their subconscious. And children sometimes they'll ask questions, sometimes they won't ask questions, especially if you're the parent who shuts them down when they ask questions. They'll just keep it within and say, well, my dad is a joke. Each time he makes promises, he doesn't keep them. Now, the next question is, do you have firm core values? I say that, I can't overemphasize that, because if you do not have core family values, beliefs that you hold dear within yourself, what exactly would you pass on to your children? And I think that is the problem with parenting in today's generation, where parents themselves haven't got to a place of self-discovery. They don't know who they are, and as a result of that, they don't know what to teach their children. Because if you're not confident in what you stand for, you want to be all over the place, then you're going to raise up children who do not have strong values to guide them in life. Hi, Precious, thanks for joining. How are you? Now I want to ask you, how are your habits? How would you rate your habits? The things you do daily, the way you spend your life, your time, for example. Do your children see you reading? Do they see you praying? What are the things you do regularly? The things our children see us doing regularly are the things that they too will see as important in life. So if they see us picking up a book to read, they will understand that reading is important. If they see us praying, if they see us, reading the Bible, those are the sort of things that they will. But if they see us watching, maybe watching TV, or being on our phone all the time. We tell our children to put our phones down, but we have our phones as well with us all the time. So those are the sort of things that, those habits that our children will, the child will say, but if you, as my mom or dad, you find the phone interesting, if you're so glued to it, what is wrong with me being glued to it? But if your children see you putting down your phone and doing other things with your time, learning, developing a hobby, it could be gardening, it could be anything, your child will know that, there is time to pick up the phone and, reply to our messages and so on, and there is time to do other things. So it's all about our habits. KG says, also by showing them how to respect and be kind to others. Thanks, KG, you've kind of gone ahead there. I was coming to that. That is very, very important. Now, so let me take KG's point. How to respect and be kind to others. Compassion, empathy, respect. How do we relate with our friends? How do we relate with our spouses? How do we speak to them? Are we respectful? Are we kind? Are we nice with them? There's an adage that says, a saying that goes that the apple does not fall far from the tree. If you see a home where maybe the mom is argumentative, it's critical, sees everything negative around everything that happens around them, what happens in the children as they grow up as adults? You see adult ladies that are argumentative, that are not kind-hearted, that are not compassionate, that are ready to fight everybody. So these things run. A mother who is graceful of grace, who is loving, who is kind, who sees the good in others, you know, and you're constantly blessing and praising others and appreciating others, I tell you, your children will have that kind of outlook for life, They will have that kind of perception of relationship. They will know you relate with your husband with respect. Husband, don't fight. You know, it's not argument and insults all the time. You know, so KG, that is a very, very, very important one. They will learn how to respect authority. Do we respect authority? Do we respect simple rules like, you know, stopping at a traffic light, or do we just drive past? So the children see all these things. So that is a very, very powerful one there, KG. Hi, Martha. Thanks for joining. Please add on, if you want to add on, please feel free to add on the things you think are really crucial as I run through what I have got here. So the other thing is really your mindset. Mindset is everything. Your mindset can build or can bring down. So as a parent, what is your mindset like? Are you very negative? Do you feel there's some things you can't do? Do you see yourself as not as good enough as others? Because your mindset will either limit you or will elevate you. You know, and if around you, you know, you're always being negative, always seeing impossibility, always saying, okay, because I may be black, I can't do this, because I am this, I can't do that. You know, as we have that kind of mindset, that negative mindset, I tell you, you will raise up children that will see nothing good in anybody, that will be critical as well, that will they will not be hopeful, they'll have no hope, they will see impossibility. So that is really, really important, parents. If there's anything, because two things that I know that are difficult to change, or that takes a lot of work and intentionality to change in a person, are self-esteem. Yes, it takes self-esteem, can easily be destroyed. Okay, so it's really important as parents that we maintain our children's self-esteem. Once it's destroyed, I tell you, it takes intentionality and it takes time to help them regain that self-esteem. So there's self-esteem, and there is the process of changing your mindset. Changing your mindset is really, really difficult to do. It takes time, it takes intentionality, and as you try to change your mindset, you're going to have challenges. So it's going to take a person of resilience. So it's really important, parents, that we look inward. What is our mindset like? What is our outlook, you know, for life? How do we see life? Do we see hope? You know, tell your children, this is where we are today, but there is something better. We're trusting God for a better life. We know we can do it. We're working on it. We're working at it. You know, so those are really, really important things. Do you have boundaries for yourself? Do you just live life without boundaries? If you have no boundaries, I tell you, you will not be able to instill boundaries for your children. And that is why in certain homes, there's no boundary whatsoever. You know, children can talk to parents anyhow, and they can't reprimand them. Parents themselves, some of them would be abused, and you keep taking the abuse maybe from your partner and that kind of thing. There are no boundaries. People abuse you in relationship, you know, and you don't know how to create boundaries. As a parent, you can teach your children how to set boundaries for themselves by you having your own boundaries. That is how you raise up children that you release into real life, competent enough to survive in real life. So how do you relate with your friends? Are you kind? Are you full of grace? KG says, when children see considerate behavior, absolutely, they learn about behaving in the same way themselves. Very true. We must be our kids' role models. We are our children's role models. I tell you, we are role models for everything, you know, to our children. Everything that we want to teach our children, we can teach them. And as we start to live this out, we you know, I said role model is living something out for, you know, for your children. So as we live out these attributes for our children, especially during the formative phase of their lives, please don't, you know, take on the fire brigade approach where you want to solve these issues when they are 14, 15. By 14, the average teenager, especially the girls who develop earlier, have developed their perception for life. they've developed their mindset about what real life is for most of the things you'd have taught them, even about relationships, about choosing friends. How do you choose your friends? Do you just meet friends, just get everyone into your inner circle and you're fighting with them today? We see people fighting on Facebook, quarreling, exposing all sorts of things on Facebook. Are you that kind of parent? I said these are parents without integrity. If a parent with integrity will not go and be fighting on Facebook, for me, that is crazy. You won't go washing your dirty linen out in public. So you have to carry yourself. I teach my children that carry yourself in a way that people will respect you, people will value you, people will not want to mess about with you. And they see the way I carry myself. And if you see my kids, you will see a lot of my traits in them, and these are things that some of them I've spoken to them consciously about it. Others, they just pick up because they see mommy behaving this way. They see daddy behaving this way. And they believe that that is how life is. And they behave that way as well. Remember, because as I said, the home, hello, Fumilayo, thanks for joining us. As I said before, the home is the training ground for real life. That is where they see how real life happens. That is how they appreciate, they understand how real life happens. And that is where we give them the opportunity to practice real life. It means that as we teach them, we want them to practice. If you teach them and they never practice, then you won't know if they've learned it. So as we give them opportunity to practice, let's be gracious. Let's be merciful. Let's be parents full of grace. Give them chance to make mistakes. It is by making mistakes that they will grow, How do we give them opportunities to make mistakes? How do we make them know that making mistakes is human? It's the way we respond to mistakes, If we shout at them, we beat them up. I saw, there was a really, really regretful footage on social media last week about a parent who abused his child in a really, really terrible way, because the parent does not understand why the child cannot learn. That is not the approach to take. That is poor parenting. We give them the opportunity to practice the things that we're teaching them. And when they make mistakes, we talk to them about what happened, what lessons we learned from them. And let's be gracious. Let's share our own mistakes. Let's be human. Let's be vulnerable. Let's make them see our human side. I tell you, they learn more that way. Because when a lot of children see their parents as superhuman beings, see the parents as human beings who do not make mistakes. But that is not true. And we show them, when we make mistakes and we come and tell them, today I had a really bad day. This is what happened. I made this, this is the mistake I made. Now, coming to think about it, I think I could have done this differently. That way, you are teaching your child that, it's okay to make mistakes. That each time you make mistake, give yourself a moment of self-reflection, so that you can then grow. Mistakes are opportunities for learning. Now, this is something that really struck me hard this week. It's something that I do, but it just came as a light bulb moment to me that, each time my child makes a mistake, I am so grateful to God because it's an opportunity for me to see the area where the child has need, the area where I need to pray for her, the area where I need to work on. I have my first to be 17 next week. In 1 year, she'll be leaving home. And I'm praying, God, the important things in life, please let her make the mistakes. Let me see them now while she's home so that we can work on those things, because the process of adolescence is the time when we train them and prepare them for adult life. So if we see all the flaws in them, please don't make it, become so, we have to encourage and guide them to make the right choices. That's right. Let's not beat them down. Let's not beat them down. Let's make them know that it is a learning process. Okay, KG says setting goals is important to give our children a benchmark. Fantastic. And the progress they are making, implementing and achieving these goals are of equal importance. When our kids see on moving along exactly, let me just open up that comment, along exactly according to plan, it shows them the importance of organization. Wow, that is powerful. And self-discipline in daily life. That's right. So how organized are we? How self-disciplined are we as parents? How do we use our time? You know, how do we use our time? How disciplined are we? You know, I spoke before about habits. You know, this organization, self-discipline, time management is all, it's all centered in the aspect of habits. So how organized are we, even within our home? You know, do we have an organized home environment where specific things are in different places? If the home environment is organized, the children will also be organized. They will know that it's important to have an organized home environment. Are we self-disciplined? Do we do the things we have to do, we say we will do at the right time, even when there's distraction? Maybe you want to study. It's something I had to work on with my children. I said, normally we do not encourage visits during the weekdays because we don't want our routines to be disrupted. But sometimes, you know, we're Africans, people pop in, you know, without telling you they're coming. So when they come in, I've taught my children that it doesn't mean our routine stop. You have no business in adult conversation. So you sit down, you know, in your study area and carry on doing the things you have to do. You know, those are all elements of self-discipline that, you know, we teach ourselves and we teach our children, you know, and it's a lifelong learning process because you can be disciplined in one area but not in another. But as holistically as parents, as we work through the parenting journey, you know, the areas that we think we need to work on, you know, let's identify them, let's work on them. Let's, you know, give our children the best versions of ourselves. I tell you, you would not regret it. You know, some parents work very hard, they're never there. You're working all the money, but when your child becomes a teenager and becomes rebellious and joins the, you know, bad friends out there and are completely out of control, I tell you, no matter how much money you have, you will not be a happy parent. So parents, I'm so grateful that you're here today. You know, thanks for all the comments. Please keep those comments coming. You know, we are all, I said, we all have a wealth of resources to share here. So please keep them coming. If you have any questions, keep them coming. Please, can I also ask, can you please inbox me if you want us to come online and have a conversation on a specific topic? So I know we all have strengths in different areas. Please send me a message and we're going to come up together to learn from each other. So as we round up, I said I have a function I have to dash out. As we round up, two things I want to remind you. Your job as a parent is to give your children roots and to give them wings to fly. Do you have everything you need to be able to give them the roots they need to fly out of your house and fly competently and to be able to navigate through life effectively with success? So as a parent, I want to encourage you. If there's anything you need to do to improve, I tell you, it's a worthwhile effort. My children can tell you, they know mom has grown. My daughter say, Mom, we know you have grown. We know, you know, because they've seen me go through my personal development journey. They've seen me grow. At least they were a bit older then, and they've seen me grow and they've seen me become a better version of myself. So by doing so, you know, it's never too late to start. By doing so, you are teaching them that it's never too late to educate yourself, to empower yourself, and to improve yourself. So thank you very much. I want to say thank you to all you wonderful moms and wonderful intentional dads. I want to say, please, you're doing a great job. Be encouraged. Never be discouraged. Never give up on any child. You know, learning is parenting is a training process, and training takes, you know, going through ups and downs. Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't. If your child is not getting it, it doesn't mean you're not doing a great job. If your child doesn't get it today, if they flunk today, you know, they do something terrible today, it doesn't make them a bad child. It's an opportunity for you to focus on that area and work on it. Children are not born good, okay? Or they're not born bad. It's about what we do to them. So go out, have a great week ahead. It's back to school tomorrow, so you have a wonderful week ahead there. Make sure you are empowering and supporting your child, As you empower yourself, continue to support them to achieve their potential in school. There is greatness in your child, and there is greatness in you. You have a blessed day. Remember to always pray. I always say this, we are working as partners with God. And so prayer is key. Let's pray for our children. Let's pray for ourselves, that God will grant us grace and wisdom. And I pray for you, and I'm rooting for you all the way. God bless you richly. Jennifer says, thank you for your intuition, Pauline. May God bless you. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much. God bless you too. Bye-bye.